I made a massive mistake.
Good morning, campers. Welcome back to another video on the Volkswagen T25. In today's episode, as you've just seen, the brains gets left alone with a grinder. Hope you enjoy.
So, the side loading door, often referred to the brains of the operation. Not today. So I bought this panel to repair the bottom of the door, but I made a massive mistake. This panel's like 17 quid. Peanuts, which is great news. I also bought the panel underside. I'll try and show you that if I can. If it will go onto there, I'll show it on there. This panel along here, which are all welded in. But here is the problem. I actually cut the door to match this line here. Really bad mistake. Really bad mistake. So if you do happen to have to replace the bottom section of your door, you do get this swage line in here. But whatever you do, don't cut it off there. You will make a £200 mistake. So learn by my mistakes, and this is what you need to do. If the bottom of your door is corroded, you know, anywhere up to this area, cut off only what you need to. Do not cut on this line. What happens is there is a return on that swage line, which is essentially this line here. Very shallow, very shallow. There, that swage line. When you cut it across that swage line, you lose the swage line, which means that the panel is essentially scrap. Now, you can't buy this door panel. I've searched everywhere. You can't buy it. It's not available. So your options are going to be this. If you've cut this off, you're going to end up buying a new door. However, what I've managed to do is I've managed to find this panel. Now, this panel is not for this van. Well, it kind of is, but it kind of isn't. That panel is for the opposite side of the van. This swage line doesn't actually line up with this swage line. As you can see, you can probably see it's probably, I don't know, 50mm different. So what I intend to do, by the drawing on the edge of the door there, I'm going to cut that swage line out of that panel, and I'm going to weld it into this panel. As you can see, I've already cut off the line here straight as I possibly can, and I'm going to cut off this panel here along this line straight as I possibly can. Welding edge to edge ain't brilliant, particularly when you've got wafer thin steel. So what I intend to do, we'll put a piece underneath here and tack it, and we'll put a piece underneath this edge here and tack it. We'll set the piece in the middle so it's resting on it, and then we'll weld it in. Job done. This is what I should have done to this panel when I got it wrong. So that panel over there has arrived very quickly, as you can see, from Schofield's, and has cost 211 quid. So if you cut this off here on this line, it'll cost you 211 quid if this works. So I'll chop it off, and we'll come back in a bit. Right, that's pretty straight. Happy with that. So next thing, we now need to use this piece and use that profile to cut that piece from that door. So I need a workbench. That has cost me 200 quid. So does this fit in there? That ain't bad. As I said, we knew this panel was too long, because this panel is for actually the other side of the van. Over there, obviously that's not a sliding door, so they have to give a gap, make the panel slightly shorter for the fact that's a solid panel. And if you could get this panel, it would obviously be narrower, because it's a sliding door. You want sort of 6 or 7mm either side, which gives you 12mm, which is about that. So we've now got to shorten this panel. I don't want to knock this edge around, because that edge, I'm never going to be able to form that. However, it would be much easier for me to cut this, and then we'll shorten it, and then just weld it again there, tack it there, tack there, whatever. We'll weld it from the back, either, and then we'll weld all this down. That's actually a really good fit there. That's pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that. And this on the end of here as well. And as I said, what we'll do, we'll put a piece of steel on the back side of this, so that we can we'll just put an equal gap there, and then we can butt weld it down here. And if it goes through, it doesn't matter because there'll be a piece of steel behind it. I might need trimming off there a little bit. It's a little bit tight, to be honest. Then again, maybe not. That'll go. Okay, let's put this on there. For novice welders who sort of try to join panels together, and I ain't brilliant at welding, I've bought these. So this is a butt welding clamp. So essentially, to loosen it off, slide it in the joint, put your peg through it, if you can get it through it, like so, and tighten it up. That now holds that seam really well together, and it's about a millimetre, or maybe slightly less to be fair. But it does hold the panel really well where you want it. Now a lot of people don't like to use them. I just want to line it up to make sure that I've got it about right, give or take. Bit of a fiddle, but there you go. In again, in with that one. At this end of the panel, we're just going to form it over, wrap it over. Now, feeling it there, there's nothing to wrap over there, which will help me on that end quite a lot. So there's the dilemma. So I think we're going to end up cutting down here, and then we'll take 12 millimeters out of this panel, which will put this edge back to here, and then we'll just weld it down. I'm not happy actually about cutting that panel there, but let's see what choice I've got, to be honest. Because if I cut this lip off, I've then got to try and form that right angle again here, and that's going to be really unbelievably difficult to do. So I'm going to ponder that before I jump. This repair now is a mile better than what it was. Absolutely stacks better. We've rescued the swage line. As I said, that's cost 200 quid. So anyway, that's changing the bottom half of the door. Literally just cut off the bottom of the door here. Do not do what I did. I cut it along that edge there. Absolutely monumentally stupid thing to do. And yeah, I should have known better, to be honest. I should have cut it down here because the bottom of the door was actually quite solid. It was only the sort of first 2 inches that was quite corroded. So I've now, instead of just cutting off this much, or to be safe, just cut off this much. I've now cost myself a load of grief and 200 quid. But there you go, such is life. Okay.
Thank you ever so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Ta-ra.